So one thing I realized owning both of these toys is that drifting this or popping a wheelie on this are a lot more similar than you think. Now there are many different ways to get the car sideways or the bike up into a wheelie, and personally I've looped a motorcycle and I've crash drifting a car. So some options are better than others. Some might feel easier, but they're actually worse off. Like what happened to me is I wrecked or I looped a motorcycle because I didn't listen to the advice of many people online, and I figured this is the easier way to do it. So I'll go over that later in the video, but for now let's just jump into the different ways you can get a car like this sideways or a bike like that up in the air to pop a wheelie. This video is more of an explanation of the different ways to do it. So because of my PTSD of looping a bike before, I'm gonna go ahead and probably just explain the wheelie part, and then instead of just drifting this car, if you guys want to see this car getting sideways, I have plenty of videos on my channel to showcase that. So this is more of an explanation video, but I will use clips from me drifting this car. And also for the sake of this video, I will probably try a clutch up wheelie because they seem pretty easy and I am comfortable clutch kicking this car. So yeah, speaking of clutch kicking, so that is the first way to do it, and in my opinion and opinion of many others, that is the best way to drift a car or to pop a wheelie. When you pop a wheelie on a motorcycle, a clutch up wheelie is basically you're riding ideally in second gear. The whole gearing actually is the same thing with drifting and popping wheelies. That's the cool part, but I'll get into that in a second. In second gear, what you're gonna do is you're gonna be riding probably around like 3,000-4,000 RPM, just coasting, going pretty slow. You're gonna clutch in, right? And as you're clutching in, it's gonna be with this finger right here. As you're clutching in, your right hand is basically gonna be giving gas. Your RPMs are gonna build up, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna just drop the clutch. And ideally, when you drop the clutch fast enough, the front wheel right here should pick up. Now it's scary and you do have to build up pretty high, but once you get comfortable, that is the ideal way to do it. Now you might be wondering, the comparison with the drift car is when you're driving this car, ideally you would probably want to be in second gear. Right now it's in first. And what you're gonna do is in second gear, you're gonna clutch in. Let me try to show you with my feet. It's the same concept though. You're driving in second gear, right? So you're coasting, you're driving, you're taking a turn, and then you're probably around like 2,000-3,000 RPM. And what you do is you clutch in, you build some gas, and then you drop the clutch while flooring it. And what's gonna happen is the wheels are gonna spin just like the bike pops up. Now, because you're in the drift already, if it kind of sends you into the drift, and the only way you could mess up is if you give too much gas and you spin out. The cool part is if you understand that even if you floor it all the way and drop the clutch and you're like at 7,000 RPM and then immediately drop the gas, what's gonna happen is the wheels are gonna spin and it's gonna send you sideways, but it won't spin you out. The only way you really spin out is by holding the throttle down after flooring it, after being too much RPMs, and your wheels continue spinning, and then you'll spin out. So that's actually the same thing with the clutch up wheelies, and why the clutch up wheelies are a bit more recommended than power wheelies, which is what we'll get into next, and kind of how I looped the R1. If you just hold in and you accidentally give too much gas, you rev it like to 14,000-16,000 RPM, and you drop that clutch, it's gonna pop up higher, but it's gonna scare you, and you're gonna drop the gas, or you're gonna stop accelerating, and what's gonna do is the bike is gonna drop right away. So even if you mess up and you give too much, you're not actually gonna loop the bike because you're gonna freak out and drop it. The only way you loop the bike is when you're getting comfortable, or let's say like you're flooring it in second gear and you drop the clutch and you freak out and you continue flooring it. One thing that I'm gonna do, and I would recommend for everybody to do if you're learning wheelies, everyone knows this, is learn to have your foot over the brake. I didn't do this on the R1 because I didn't think I needed to. For some reason, I was an idiot. It's my first bike. I know, why would you get a 1000cc first bike? But that's a story for a different day. But anyways, basically your foot should be over this brake pedal, because the minute, if you just learn to just tap this brake, the brakes activate and it just forces your bike to drop immediately. And that's how people stay safe, and they can get really high. They get to the balance point and they can just control it with the brake and the gas. And then what I quickly wanted to mention with the whole gearing situation, why second gear is the best gear to drift or to do a clutch up wheelie. In first gear, your gear runs out pretty quickly. So even if it's easier to pop up or to get sideways, because the gear is a lot more shorter, it's easier to spin the wheels faster, or it's easier to build the RPMs higher. So it's actually easier to loop or easier to spin out. And the other problem is when you're actually in the drift or in the wheelie, let's say you're comfortable enough to stay in the drift or stay in the wheelie, your gears, you're gonna run out pretty fast. So it's only gonna be a pretty short drift, or it's gonna be like a short wheelie. So that's why second gear, both on drifting a car and popping a wheelie, is recommended, because it's a longer gear, and once you clutch up or drop the clutch, you're already spinning tires, or you're already in the air, and at that point you're just controlling that gear. Now the second way we're going to talk about is being in second gear, or probably on a 600cc you might have to be in first gear. On a car you could do it in first or second gear, or even third gear, depending on how much power you have and depending if it's wet or not. But if you're in first gear and you're riding and you're like at 4,000 RPM, if you weigh pretty light, or if you have a fast, like a 1000cc bike, it doesn't matter what you weigh, you can actually just floor this bike. And if you don't tuck correctly, so like if you don't just put your head right here and your head just stays up, the bike will actually pick up and your front wheel will lift up and you will be wheeling. So the same thing on a car. If you just are driving, like, you know, we'll use the second gear as an example, and you're just driving, you're like at 3,000 RPM. As you're going through the corner, if you just basically floor it, it's not gonna spin the wheels at first, unless you have really crappy tires, which sometimes we do. You're just going through the corner, and I'm gonna show you an example of this. I don't know if you saw, but or if you're seeing. That was not a clutch kick. That was just me accelerating. But as I'm flooring it, it doesn't spin right away. But once the power band gets up and up and up, then there's more horsepower going to the rear wheels, and because you are churning, if the wheels start spinning, you are gonna start drifting, and that's called like a power slide, or I don't know the technical term for it, but that's like a power slide, or I know the technical term on the motorcycle is called a power wheelie, and those aren't recommended. Personally, didn't want to do clutch ups because I was scared that the 1000cc has too much power. That's like trying to do a clutch kick on a 1,000 horsepower car. You know, it's easier to spin out that way. But if we keep in mind what I said, where if you just, even if you give too much gas and you drop the gas right away, you're not going to spin out. The only way you spin out is by continuing to give gas. So I should have learned in second gear on the R1, but I didn't. I was doing first gear and second gear power wheelies. So yeah, because of that, I'm very scared to pop wheelies. I told myself if I ever get another bike, I'll never pop wheelies. So when I ride with my wife, I don't get the front wheel up. We just go out for nice rides. It's really fun. It's just nice to be on a bike. Everybody knows that. But yeah, so that's why my wheels aren't going to be as impressive. But the point of it is just to show you what, or at least try to show you. If not, at least explain it to you guys. What's really cool is on the newer bikes, they have what's called the wheelie control. So if you get like anything like 2018, 19 and newer on the R6, R1, Gixxer, CBR, Ninja, whatever you get, apparently there's like different modes where you could just floor it, or do a clutch up wheelie and floor it, or just do a power wheelie, and the bike uses nannies to control the bike. Because on cars, the traction works very well, right? And then on newer cars, they have this thing called traction off but stability on. On the GR86 video we realized how to fully turn everything off. But for a while, he just basically drifted with the traction off but the nannies on. And it'll help you drift, it'll help you get sideways, but it's just, you don't have the full control of the car. And once we turned that off, then he had full control of the car. So I feel like the nannies on newer bikes probably do the same thing. And then the other one, this one's kind of unpopular, but I don't know what the actual term is, but I think it's something like weight transfer drift, and I don't know what the bike version of be, but basically if you're gonna take a corner and drift to the left, you go right, you shift the weight, and then you turn the wheel really fast and accelerate, or clutch kick it, or you just accelerate, and because all the weight shifts back to this way, both wheels break traction and you get sideways. And I noticed it's kind of easier to get into the drift if you do like a weight transfer drift. Now, I've seen on Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts and people just like braking and then giving gas, or just like kind of like accelerating, letting go, and then accelerating again. So they're basically shifting the weight forward and then back too. So these shocks right here, they compress forward, and it's almost like acts like a little sponge, or not a sponge, I'm retarded, sorry. It acts like a spring, right? So you compress the spring and then it kind of launches up. So so basically you're accelerating, you drop it and then you can pick it up again. And yeah. So I see people do that on Instagram, and it kind of reminded me of taking a car and just going this way, then going this way, and it kind of launches you into the corner. And I think that's called a weight transfer drift or a weight transfer wheelie. I don't know if that's a thing, but
it sounds so good. I heard it from over there. I was like, damn.
Oh, thank you. Believe it or not, it's just a muffler delete. I have to get an exhaust for now.
Oh, that's a muffler.
If I missed something, please comment. If you like this video, go ahead and like it for me. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content, whether it's motorcycle or car stuff. I'm working a lot, so I'm trying the best I can. Yeah, thanks for watching. God bless you.